the NorCal Championship match, Buchanan High School player Sierra Wilson, a black athlete, was ready to take her penalty. As she stepped up, a fan in the opposing team's student section could be heard making monkey chants. It was heard from multiple angles. With Sierra Wilson herself appearing to shake it off, then realizing, no, I don't have to put up with this, she turned around and informed the referee. Earlier in the shootout, Hispanic player Daisy Torres missed a penalty as barking noises were heard. After Wilson's made penalty, the referees huddled together, then told Oak Ridge's coach what occurred. What happens next is, simply put, falling short on the part of Oak Ridge and the refs.
Hey, no more of that.
This is important. Coach Gillette approaches the referees. Afterwards, Buchanan AD James Gambrell spoke with the media. There was zero sense of urgency to have some sort of a consequence at that particular time. What nobody understands, unless you were there, is that our girls' team was deeply affected. Our girls were huddled up and crying. They are no longer in a competitive environment where they are trying to figure out how to execute penalty kicks. Since it came from the Oak Ridge stands, their coach received a yellow card as a warning. To reiterate, this falls way short of protecting the players. Gillette told the Fresno Bee, the refs just brushed me off as an upset coach and said, we're going to handle it, go back to your bench. They didn't come to me to discuss what their decision was, what they were going to do. There was no moment of saying, let's all get together and before we resume the game, let's figure this out. Gillette said the taunts left her girls emotionally shaken in the decisive moments of the match, with no opportunity to collect themselves before play resumed. They gave the coach a yellow card, which is nothing, she said. Nothing was done, and that's the hard part. In hindsight, we should have just left the field and walked off. But in the moment with her players upset and some in tears, she added, this was so jarring. It was difficult to process. It was, she said, the kind of thing she never considered having to prepare her team to handle. Gillette called out the Oak Ridge High School administration, saying they stood by and did nothing to address the problem. No fan was removed and the stands were not cleared. For their part, the Oak Ridge team, per local media, had their own say after the racist incident. You see, they ended up winning the match and the championship, but they did not appreciate how it all went down. Fox 40 reported at lunchtime, Oak Ridge students walked out and held up signs denouncing the heckler who made racist animal noises at the players of Buchanan. Even people living next to the school showed up to support the protest. Oak Ridge senior Kendall Russell said, I'm very sorry to them, and I hope they can see that a majority of Oak Ridge students do not feel the same as the people who participated in these actions. More than 68% of the nearly 2,500 students at Oak Ridge are white, while Hispanic/Latino students represent 13%. Just over 1% of Oak Ridge's students are black or African American, state data shows. At Buchanan High in the Clovis Unified School District, the student body is almost 49% white, 33.1% Hispanic/Latino, 11.2% Asian, and 2.6% Black or African American. ABC 30 reported late Tuesday evening the student who made the racist chants during the penalty shootout had been identified. Officials from Oak Ridge say they will make sure the actions are labeled as a hate crime and that the student will receive full punishment. No word yet if part of the student's punishment will be learning critical race theory.